Hello buddy, welcome to the best gaming channel that gives you the best gaming update in the industry. Today we'll be talking about the top 10 new games in GameCom 2022. It's gonna be an interesting topic, do stay with me till the end of the video to learn more about it. As a game lover that you are, I can't afford to let you miss out. So this list is made of the most interesting and latest games in 2022 which will keep on trending till 2023. Let's get started. 10. Dead Island 2. When Dead Island 2 leaked prior to Gamescom, I was dubious. Wasn't that okay zombie game Dead Island famed for having a misleading trailer? I didn't really see why I should be anticipating it, until I got to play it. Deep Silver Dam Buster, the project's developer, stated it had to start over in order to realize its goal, saving the 10-year-old project from obsolescence. And what did you see? Absolute carnage. Dead Island 2 impressed us with its procedural flesh system that lets players target parts of a zombie's body and carve them off in a grotesquely satisfying fashion. That's paired with in-depth first-person melee combat that actually lets players take advantage of that gory system. As soon as I poked a zombie's leg off with a pitchfork, I was sold. 9. New Tales from the Borderlands. Old Telltale staff. A sequel to Tales from the Borderlands was announced in April, though with a footnote of caution. This one's being made in-house by Gearbox. The original was great because of how outside regular Borderlands it was, with completely different gameplay and a cast of civilians to highlight the absurdity of the looter-shooters setting as seen from ground level. Having the people responsible for writing Borderlands 3 trying to handle that style of comedy seemed like a potential red flag. Though, to be fair, both the Borderlands 3 DLC and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands were improvements in the writing department. However, the Gamescom trailer for New Tales from the Borderlands was accompanied by a statement from Gearbox founder Randy Pitchford, explaining that its creation involved a group of original Telltale storytellers, writers, and developers who worked on the original game. Gearbox Director of Production James Lopez also told IGN that the studio partnered with key alumni from the original Tales game to write it. So maybe it's safe to get our hopes up after all. New Tales from the Borderlands will be out on October 21st. 8. Lies of P. Long lineups formed to enter the Lies of P demo at Gamescom, where it proved an unexpected hit. Perhaps players simply needed to see the Souls-like inspired by Pinocchio in action to believe it actually existed. I know I did. Fortunately, Lies of P is an action game with an intriguing storyline that offers smooth but still challenging combat. Even though it could only be Bloodborne light, I discovered that I preferred the faster-paced action than most true From Software games. The peculiar cherry on top is that it features a broody Pinocchio. 7. Gungrave Gore. Despite not being the most technically advanced game I played at Gamescom, Gungrave Gore was probably the one that gave me the biggest smile. The outrageous action game is a remake of a long-defunct PlayStation 2 franchise about a gun-toting hero who travels with a coffin. Players can still use their huge firearms to rack up impressive combinations in the sequel, which still has the same hack-and-slash vibe as the PS2 version. It's gory, bombastic, and a total blast to play. 6. Vikings on Trampolines. With its popular platformer Owlboy, independent developer D-Pad Studio gained notoriety in 2016. However, its new game is much older than that. Vikings on Trampolines is a modernized remake of a now defunct browser game that one of its developers first created when he was 14 years old. As the game's name suggests, players command Vikings who can only move by jumping on trampolines. Being controlled by just one joystick, the project is ideal for gamers who typically find games to be overly complicated. According to my demonstration, that's all it needed to create a straightforward, enjoyable experience with top-notch pixel art. 5. Piece Odyssey. Despite never having watched the anime or read the manga it's based on, Piece Odyssey won me over at the show. I feared that the project could be a low-effort cash grab, but I was happy to be wrong about that. It contains clever RPG systems that push players to make smart decisions on each and every turn. Using a rock-paper-scissors damage system reminiscent of Fire Emblem, players have to constantly juggle which party members are in their lineup to get the most out of every attack opportunity. Though for One Piece fans, the real appeal here will be seeing all their favorite characters brought to life in a 3D world complete with voice acting. This is feeling like a high-effort project that will cater to players beyond its built-in audience. 4. Pentiment. Xbox had a significant presence at this year's events despite not having a major title scheduled for this fall. Smaller games like High on Life benefited from the intense focus that resulted, but Pentiment was the greatest Xbox exclusive I saw at the conference. The 2D narrative game developed by Obsidian is a distinctive murder mystery set in the 16th century. It has striking visuals and simple RPG mechanics that significantly influence the plot. I left Gamescom pleased to see a business as large as Microsoft sponsor a small-scale project that is as endearing as this one after seeing a glimpse of how that will play out. 3. Game of the Show, Moonbreaker. Moonbreaker is exactly what you want to see out of an event like this, a left-field surprise that completely steals the spotlight. Developed by Subnautica Studio, Unknown Worlds, the strategy game debuted at opening night live with a trailer showing off its miniature-based combat, where players drag Warhammer-like figurines across the battlefield. We were intrigued by that clip, but we were astonished by the actual game once we got to demo it. The strategy portion of the game feels incredibly tight. But what really impressed us was the game's figure painting tool, a powerful system that lets players easily create detailed custom paint jobs for their figures just as they would in a real tabletop game. Our excitement for it only grew when getting more information from Unknown Worlds about the game. The developers filled us in on some exciting details, discussing how Mistborn author Brandon Sanderson helped craft a rich story that the game will tell over the course of years, both in-game and via a full episodic audio drama podcast. Every new detail we heard about the game through the weekend only made us more intrigued to try it out when it launches in an early access on September 29th. Considering that it's the one game we couldn't stop talking about this weekend, it deserves this Game of the Show slot. 2. Hyenas. This is developed by Creative Assembly, published by Sega. Hyenas could be something very special indeed. Pitting several teams of players against each other in a space station full of AI guards in a bid to steal as much pop culture detritus is a unique concept by itself. But Hyenas seem to have a top-notch world, courtesy of the same branch of Creative Assembly that brought us Alien Isolation. Chuck into that kinetic combat that brings unique heroes with their own classes and weapons and drops them into gunfights that prioritize agility and high-skill cap movement, and you could have a game that, well, a game that I'll be terrible at, but Apex Legends players might find irresistible. Unfortunately, we haven't yet had a chance to go hands-on with Hyenas, and the game is going to hinge on how good those claustrophobic space station shootouts actually feel. 1. Evil West. This is developed by Flying Wild Hog, published by Focus Entertainment. It's available on PlayStation, PC, Xbox. Evil West's inspirations are clear from the start. Mixing elements from God of War, Devil May Cry, and Doom Eternal, Gamescom 2022's demo showcased the game's second mission, presenting something familiar yet fresh from Flying Hog Games. Promising a 10 to 15 hour campaign in either solo play or two-player co-op, our goal is to wipe out the latest supernatural threat currently simmering underground. Joined by his partner Edgar, Evil West's biggest draw currently lies in its combat. When Jesse's not gunslinging foes, we're punching or kicking them so hard that they explode. This might have been a short demo, but we found an intriguing narrative at play which never takes this absurd premise too seriously. Backed up by frequent light humor, this is shaping up to be a welcoming action-adventure. Thank you for staying with me till the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like and share the video. You can leave your questions and thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when we add new videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.